The reason why I shouldn't... I can't talk today. I'm getting too excited about the points that I'm trying to make. Do you see me? I can't tell if you can see me or not because the sun is in my eyeballs. It's shining so bright. And you can see my hand, right? So, women shouldn't do stand-up comedy because they don't have an interesting perspective at all. You aren't going to get content like this anywhere else. That's why I do this. People have told me since 2005 to do a YouTube channel. People have told me since I was a child to do stand-up comedy. I waited and waited and waited. And the reason why I waited is because I'm a sexist and I don't believe that women should do stuff that men do. And I don't think that women are very creative. At least not when it comes to the internet. I'm a huge fan of female musicians that actually have talent, you know? Y'all know I'm a huge fan of St. Vincent. St. Vincent's probably one of the greatest guitar players that's ever lived. I don't agree with her and her politics. People would probably be shocked to all hell to discover that I used to be a diehard fan of Ani DeFranco, the feminist folk singer. She used to play her guitar in coffee shops in the early 90s. She started all that shit. Like, she really paved the way for a lot of folk singers, you know, like, very, very talented lady. Once again, don't agree with her politics. But she really, really inspired me. And I think that women need good role models that live their life in creative ways. You don't have to have the right politics to do that, but it definitely helps. Like, I think of these women as spiritual, regardless of what they claim to believe in, because what they're doing is spiritual. When you're expressing yourself and you're trying to share with people your perspective, and your perspective is actually right some of the time, it's interesting some of the time, you have talent, that means that you're an exception to the rule, okay? I think that women are naturally creative. The reason why is because we're supposed to create. That's why we have uterus. If we're not using that uterus to make babies, we need to do something else with it. That potential. We need to put ourselves out there in a way that helps the world. You see, I choose to live for the kingdom of God. A lot of people might not understand that. They probably don't understand my position as a eunuch. They probably don't understand what I mean by that. Isn't being a eunuch a lot better than being a transgender? I mean, what if that's how they really feel about themselves, but they don't know it? Because this culture is so overly sexualized. I mean, I'm so completely repulsed by this culture that, like, I never want to have sex again, you guys. This dude that I was interested in, the one that was in a lot of my videos, Judson, he's a really good dude. You know, we definitely clicked. We definitely had a connection. But I just can't imagine myself having sex. Like, I'm trying to, like, see that future, and I'm just, like, grossed out by that shit, man. But, you know, maybe it is true about, you know, the whole pair bonding thing. Like, the more men that women sleep with. And trust me, it's been a lot, okay? I used to be an alcoholic, so there was a whole year of sexual encounters that I barely can recall. And it disgusts me. Like, there are so many things that I've done deep in my addiction that were just reprehensible, you know? And there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do to take it back. There's nothing I can do to, you know, remove those people from the list of mistakes, you know? And they didn't force me to do anything. I chose to get in a car with somebody. I chose to follow somebody into a room. I chose to have sex with somebody behind a dumpster, you know? It's like, yeah, dude, I totally fucking did that shit. But I think about how people are normalizing that. Like, that's totally chill. I mean, like, I was talking to one of my coworkers. She's like, I think she's like 17. And she was telling me about some random guy that she hooked up with that she met on the internet. And she was telling me this like it was nothing. And I wasn't really judging her. I was like, dude, this culture, man. This culture has pushed this behavior on society and made it seem like it's totally fine. And I hear about it all the time in stand-up comedy, you know? Like, so many people do jokes about Tinder. They do jokes about pornography. They do jokes about making porn. It's like a society like this cannot sustain itself. Like, there's no fucking way. I mean, I couldn't sustain myself. That's why I quit drinking. Because I didn't want to be that way, man. And after I got sober, I realized how much I hated sex.